Picture this, if you will. You are 22 years old, you possess the lung capacity of a free diver, the knees of a grasshopper, and you own a brand new fuel-injected four-stroke that likely costs more than your car. You look like a factory rider, you feel like a god. Then it happens. You are halfway through a brutal single-track trail, gasping for air like a landed carp. Out of nowhere, you hear it. The unmistakable lazy chug of a 20-year-old Honda XR 250. Passing you on the outside is a man named Gary. Gary is 57. Gary is wearing faded riding gear from a brand that went bankrupt back in 1997. He has a slight beer belly. His posture resembles a melting candle, and he is sitting down. Yes, he is not even standing up. Yet Gary effortlessly glides past your trembling body, gives you a polite neighbourly nod, and vanishes into the dust like an off-road phantom. How is this possible? Science says it shouldn't be. Youth possesses the fast-twitch muscle fibres. Youth possesses the willingness to break bones. Youth possesses the lack of a mortgage. Yet, on any given Sunday, the local trails are populated by elder riders who are fundamentally, mathematically, and disrespectfully faster than the youth. So today, in this video, we decode the ancient, mysterious, and slightly terrifying physics of the veteran rider. Get a comfortable chair and let's analyse why old guys on dirt bikes are absolute weapons. Chapter 1. The reckless expenditure of energy. Now, the primary flaw of the young rider is a complete misunderstanding of momentum. When a 20-year-old sees a hill climb, their brain registers one command: maximum throttle, maximum noise, maximum panic. They attack the mountain like their life depends on it. They wheelie, they roost, they loop out, they burn 3,000 calories in 40 seconds, ending up stuck behind a tree and crying into their expensive goggles. Now, let us observe the elder rider approaching the same obstacle. The elder rider does not fight the mountain. The elder rider has a mutual understanding with gravity. They approach the hill in second gear, barely above idle. The elder rider relies on what scientists call dad momentum. This is a specialised form of kinetic energy generated entirely by patience, smooth clutch control, and the burning desire to get back to the truck before the good beer gets warm. While the youth is spinning his rear tyre and roosting all over the hillside, the veteran rider simply hooks traction, tracks straight, and summits the hill with the casual grace of a man walking to his mailbox. Young riders use horsepower, older riders use traction. Horsepower makes noise, traction makes progress. Chapter 2. The cost of braking. To understand why older riders are faster, we must look at the financial and biological anatomy of fear. When a young rider crashes, their internal monologue says, "Wow, that looked cool. I hope someone caught that on their GoPro." Their bones are made of rubber. They bounce, they laugh, they post a reel on Instagram, and they go to work the next day. They have no fear, because they have no data. An older rider, however, views a crash not as a social media opportunity, but as a catastrophic logistical event. The veteran rider has an internal spreadsheet running at all times. Before they even touch the front brake, their brain calculates, if I slide out there, that is a torn ACL. That means 6 months off the bike. It means a $5,000 deductible. It means my wife will make me sell the bike and take up gardening or golf. Had to throw that one in. This calculus changes everything. The older rider is faster because they cannot afford to slow down incorrectly. Every line they choose must be surgically precise. They do not take risks. They manage inventory. They know exactly how much grip the front tyre has because their orthopaedic surgeon explained it to them using x-rays in 2014. The youth rides like they are immortal. The veteran rides like they have an active insurance policy. And ironically, the man who is terrified of the hospital is the one who carries the cleanest speed through the rockyard. Which brings us to Chapter 3, the Toolbox of Apathy. Let us talk about equipment. The young rider is obsessed with upgrades. They need the titanium exhaust. They need the anodized bling. They need that ECU map that adds 3 horsepower at precisely 11,000 RPM. They spend 4 hours adjusting their suspension clickers before a ride, convinced that that quarter of a turn of high-speed compression damping will turn them into Eli Tomac. The older rider, however, operates on a level of mechanical apathy that borders on spiritual enlightenment. Their suspension is set to soft lounge chair. When you ask an older rider about their bike setup, they do not talk about telemetry. They do not talk about suspension clickers. They look at the bike and say, hey, it starts. This apathy is their secret weapon because they do not rely on technology, they rely on technique. They do not care if the rear end steps out. They do not care if the brakes are spongy. They have spent 40 years adapting to terrible motorcycles. Put a young rider on a bike with slightly bent handlebars and they will refuse to ride it. Put an old rider on a bike with no rear brakes and a leaking fork seal and they will win the expert class because they simply do not care enough to slow down. Chapter 4, Zen and the Art of the Lazy Line. Watch a young rider on a motocross track or trail. They are constantly moving, they are standing up, they are scrubbing jumps, they are squaring up corners, they are throwing their weight around like a gymnast on espresso. It is beautiful, it is dynamic, it is completely exhausting. Now, look at the old guy. He is sitting down. He's been sitting down since the parking lot. His butt is practically glued to his seat. You might think sitting down makes you slower. In theory, it does. But for the veteran rider, he has mastered the lazy line, while the young rider is taking the high line, hitting the boom and launching off the bumps. The old rider is riding around the inside line. The inside line is ugly. It has rocks, it has roots, it has ruts, but it is exactly 40 feet shorter. The older rider realises that dirt biking is a game of geometry, not acrobatics. By staying low, hugging the inside and avoiding any movement that requires burning a single calorie, they maintain a higher average speed over a 3-hour ride. The young rider is sprinting, the older rider is commuting, and in the end, the commuter always reaches the destination with less time. Chapter 5, the Mental Warfare. Finally, we must address the psychological warfare of the veteran rider. Young riders are fragile. Their speed is tied directly to their ego. If you pass a young rider, their heart rate spikes to 200. They get angry. They start making mistakes. They try to pass you back immediately, usually resulting in a spectacular visit to the bushes. You cannot psychologically damage an older rider. They have already been through 2 divorces, 3 market crashes and a colonoscopy. You passing them on trails does not hurt their feelings one iota. In fact, they want you to pass them. They will pull over, let you by, and then quietly tail you for the next 3 miles. They will watch you struggle. They will watch you cross rut. They will sit behind you, completely silent, breathing normally, just waiting for you to tire yourself out. And the moment, that very moment you make a mistake, that exact second your front tyre tucks in a mud hole, they will ride right past you. They won't laugh. They won't rub it in. They'll just give you that same polite, neighbourly nod and disappear into the distance. In conclusion, so why are older dirt bike riders faster? Because youth is a disease that cures itself with time. Young riders have the speed, but old riders have the map. They know where the traction is, they know where the energy is, they know where it's saved, and they know exactly how much it hurts to hit the ground. So the next time you're on the trail and you see a guy with grey hair pulling a vintage bike out of a rusty pickup truck, do not smile. Do not laugh. Do not think you are going to show him how it is done. Respect the wisdom. Fear the smooth throttle. because before the day is over, Gary is going to teach you a lesson about physics that you won't forget. So thanks for watching, guys. Adjust your sag, check your suspension settings, your high speed and low speed compression dampening. Make sure that you topped your engine up with fully synthetic oil, and you might just keep up with the old guys. See you on the trail. Mike from Moto 2.